following program is sponsored by PokerStars.net. Season 2 of The Big Game has seen major action
I bet the pot.
I'm all in.
Race.
and monster pots.
Raise it. 45,000.
I'm all in.
All right, this is what it looks like when I go all in. I am all in.
Tonight, we're counting down the 9 largest scoop pots of Season 2, including The Big Game's all-time biggest 2 pots.
Wow.
Nearly $1.5 million will be pushed across the felt on the Best of the Big Game Season 2 biggest pots.
Welcome to the best of the PokerStars.net Big Game.
I'm ready to gamble.
Let's do some business.
Now,
It's the big game.
This is a big hand.
Oh, you got there. Come on, Tony.
Want to see it?
Oh, fine.
Just unbelievable.
Okay, now fold everything.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Who are you calling a rabbit?
You guys are animals.
raise, that's neat.
You donkey.
This makes me as attractive as anybody else.
What is going on? Oh, my God.
What I just did there is so high level.
Beat me in the hand, Phil. You understand, Phil? I own you.
He's a machine. He's a beast.
It doesn't get any bigger
than this.
There you go. Welcome to the game.
This is the best of the PokerStars.net Big Game.
Welcome to Las Vegas, home of the big game and our state-of-the-art poker room. Although the table is empty right now, millions of dollars have been wagered upon its felt. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Huff, and tonight we're going to show you what we call this show the Big Game, as we recap the 9 biggest pots that were pushed across the table this season.
And none of those anticlimactic chop pots either. Boring. Each of these monsters is won by a single player. The chips are about to fly. Scott, let's light this candle.
Season 2's 9th biggest pot involved socialite Rick Solomon and Phil Locke, who have a bit of history playing together.
It was hand 70 of week 2. Phil was up about 25K while Rick was down 20. Our loose cannon, aspiring poker pro Courtney G was hovering around even and chatting with Daniel Negreanu.
By the way, she loves board games.
See?
Amanda was guessing. She's like, okay, so she doesn't like movies, she doesn't like TV. She
She likes
probably loves
games.
She's not
games.
fun, so she must be geeky.
No, not you.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm geeky. I'm a stats geek, like big time.
Oh, I'm totally geeky. I'm proud
You
of
are
it.
geeky? It's okay. Geeks are
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. The geeks didn't know that they were on the same page. They lost track of things for a second.
Like, no,
Okay,
I'm
good,
geeky.
good.
You're geeky. No, I'm geeky.
Locke raises to 800.
They were singing in the same choir and didn't even know it.
Action folds to Solomon.
Oh, Muffin's playing. I can see it.
How geeky was that high 5? I think Daniel's pocket protector broke.
Solomon re-raises his pocket 8s to 3,000. Over to the cannon. Ace-Jack.
This is a spot where you can make an argument for 4-betting or folding.
How much?
Like 31,000 or something.
That is 3,000 total.
Out of position, you don't want to call, but I imagine a 4-bet would get a lot of respect. Then again, Rick hasn't 3-bet a ton.
She's going to let it go.
So you raised or straddled?
He don't straddle.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He only comes after the straddle. He gets excited when he sees him.
Negreanu's out.
How much do I owe this pot? 3K? All right, sir.
Gamble.
Good luck to both of us.
Locke makes a fairly loose call out of position, but thinks he has an edge against his amateur buddy.
7-6-4. Locke's got 2 pairs. Solomon with an overpair.
I checked the sick one.
Pretty gross flop for Rick.
5,000.
I raised the sick one.
Great spot for a check raise.
Locke raises to 12,200.
How much is that?
The board is super wet, so Phil can make this look like a draw.
You don't have to call, sir. You can just let it go.
And there are a lot of action killers that could hit the turn.
Solomon calls.
What are you doing, kid?
Rick's also got outs to a gut shot.
Rick Solomon, what are you doing? Rick, what do you want, kid? Tell me what you want. You want a specific card, kid? I should just shut up, I think.
Turns the 3 of spades.
And there's the action killer.
How much more do you have, son?
60K. 63,000.
I'm gonna bet 42,400. Because that's a good number. And I've used it in the past. There's no time to use the things we've learned from the past.
I'm all in.
Solomon's all in.
Wow. Wow-wee-wah.
How much more is it?
Getting 6.5 to 1.
How much more? This is a great show.
I think I'm going broke.
Phil might think Rick's got a 5, but he can't fold.
It's 21 more? That's it? 21,100. Almost as if the gods have decided to torture me, keeping it nice and small. Wow. All right, give me 4 yellows.
Lock calls Rick's all in.
Rick Solomon, want to run it 3 times?
What do you got?
Well, I got a kind of hand where running it 3 times would be fun for me.
Well, you show me your hand. I'll talk about it.
Will you show me yours?
Yeah, I promise I'll show you.
I got 2 pair.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, great. Now you want to run it 3 times.
Yeah, three times.
3 times, buddy. How about 4 times, but the 3rd time doesn't count?
Nice hand.
3 times.
Or just
right?
3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
No 5s!
We're going to see 3 rivers with the winner taking a third of the pot each time.
I don't think I'm winning any.
You're going to win one.
Phil's the favorite as we see the first river, King of Spades, and Locke wins a third of the pot.
I symbolically want to show what's going on. This is mine. No matter what comes, at least I got one.
That's you.
Power card, too. It's a king. It's a good high card for strength, you know, to meditate on strength. If it comes, I'm going to be strong. We can take it.
Statistically, Rick should win at least one of these.
River number 2, 10 of Spades.
That's 2. Okay, we got to give one.
Locke wins
to Rick
again.
Solomon. This wouldn't be fair.
I'm not getting any.
I just want to, you know, be near you if it comes and be near you if it doesn't come.
Oh,
That's the right idea. Yeah, look at that. It's even 40% of a straight flush right here for me. So there's power strength. But I'm still okay if I lose, because you don't always
get the
make
misery
straight
over with or what?
Can Phil Locke go 3 for 3?
Yes, he can. 10 of diamonds on the river. He scoops.
I'm buying it for 50. Nice hand.
And he wins almost
I thought I
$160,000.
was value betting when I bet the turn 40-something, too. But then when I was calling, I was like 6. I was like, wow, why did I step into this?
Funny, Phil, Rick is thinking the exact same thing.
So Phil Locke's 2 pairs scoop all 3 runs, leaving Rick with an $80,000 headache. Our 8th biggest pot involves billionaire Guy Laliberte, young phenom Jason Mercier, and fearless loose cannon Carrie Burchell.
It was hand 134 of week 5. Carrie was up over 100K and showed no signs of slowing down.
Action began on the wealthy amateur with Ace-King suited.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't want to know. Less I know about you, the better. I'm already freaked out.
Raises to 1,400. Bob with 7 tray, out. Kachalov with the 8-4, lets it go. Action on our loose cannon. Ace-10 offsuit.
We know Carrie's dominated, but this is an auto call on the button.
Unless she re-raises. Nope, just a call. Duhamel out. 5 tray of hearts for Jason Mercier, and he'll call out of the big blind.
A little loose, but Jason wants to get involved with the 2 amateurs.
3-way action to the flop. Ace 10-4 rainbow, top pair for Guy, top 2 for Burchell.
Carrie flops huge, goodbye kicker problems. Hello, Guy's money.
Mercier checks his gut shot.
Guy could really get himself into trouble.
C-bets 4,800.
This would be a good spot for a raise. It's kind of a dry board, but you can certainly get action from most aces. Calling's okay if you think your opponents are super wide and you won't get any action. Sometimes that would be the case, but we know Guy is very likely to call a raise.
Carrie opts to just call.
I'm sure part of Carrie's plan in just calling was to try to get Jason along for the ride. Jason's not even getting 3-1, so this would be pretty loose. Pretty loose.
There it is, though. He makes the loose call.
Guy and Jason are drawing pretty thin. They're each only going to win this pot about 1 out of every 5 times. Carrie will win it more than half the time. Pretty good 3 ways.
King of diamonds, and Guy hits a bigger 2 pair.
Oh, puke.
Mercier checks.
Guy Willikers, this could get ugly.
And Guy is loading up. The bet is 20,400.
Carrie didn't put in a raise on the flop, and I'm afraid she's going to do it now when she's so much more likely to be behind.
Why couldn't you put a creamsicle chip out there? I would have called so that I could get a creamsicle chip.
Those chips are worth 25K each.
Now you're getting taunted, Guy. How does it feel?
Carrie's confidence is genuine, but it is an error.
She makes the call.
Carrie doesn't raise, but this is still awful for her. What a gross turn of events. You can't blame her for calling.
Mercier's out.
He's got Carrie in terrible shape. She's been coolered, and with Duhamel folding a 10, she's only got 1 out.
6 of clubs, that's not it.
Time for Guy to calculate the bill and tell her what the total damage is going to be.
He bets 50,000.
There's those creamsicle chips she was after, but unless there's a 6 card to be dealt that I don't know about, she won't be getting her hands on them.
Do you have ace king? Maybe.
She's asking the right questions. Maybe there's a chance she can actually get away from this.
Be a bad call. Just set it up. I call.
And she calls.
Ace king.
Nice hand.
So gross, and she shows the cooler.
And Guy's going to win a pot worth over $160,000.
Can't fold that. We can't fold that.
Carrie hasn't shown much emotion all week, but I'm guessing she's gutted right now. I know I am.
Now you're peacocking. He's like, I win a pot, finally.
No, actually, she might not save money because if she re-raised, I probably call.
Probably if I would have raised on the flop, you don't get away from it either, so.
No, I call then with the turn, then we're...
I saved money. It's just like an $80,000 hand.
So our 8th biggest pot of this season comes at the expense of loose cannon Carrie Burchell, who handled the beat like a true professional. Still to come, Hellmuth puts a cannon to the test right out of the gate for a 6-figure pot.
I'll take this one now. You fold. Raise it. 45,000.
What you got?
I might have forceful. I might not.
But up next, an old guard versus young gun rumble as Barry Greenstein gets loose aggressive with Vanessa Selbst at the wrong time.
I love wizard versus wizard battles.
I'm all in.
The best of the big game's biggest pots will be right back. Welcome back to the best of the big game, biggest pots. Our next hand involved 2 of poker's most respected players.
Poker legend Barry Greenstein and new school cool kid Vanessa Selbst. It was just 14 hands into the session and both players were about even. Action begins on Barry G, UTG.
Suited 1-gapper.
Low.
Raises to 1,500. Pocket jacks for Vanessa Selbst.
Great spot for a 3-bet. Vanessa has a rep for being very aggressive.
We have 3 bets. She's made it 5,200 as Fondiari wants none of it. King 4 for Prahlad. Lets it go. The cannon. Ace 10 suited.
Knowing what the cards are, this would be a correct fold, but I don't know in general if I could fold Ace 10 suited to a Vanessa Selbst 3-bet. Plus, Barry did raise under the gun, which is supposed to be strong.
The cannon folds.
Tight, but I don't hate it.
What can I fold?
That hand.
8-4 of clubs. Lets it go. Action back over to Barry.
See if Barry gives Vanessa the action she deserves.
And he does. He re-raises to 15-5 with 7 high.
I love wizard versus wizard battles. You know?
Wizards.
Well, Gandalf, or Barry Potter over there, has sort of stepped in it here. No way Vanessa can fold this. Even if she puts him on aces, she's got implied odds to flop a set.
And she calls.
Sure, Barry would have much rather won this pre-flop. Probably not all that happy to see a flop here.
Jack 9-3 rainbow. Vanessa's flop top set.
Now, we know Barry's going to c-bet, but we'll have to see how Vanessa tries to get max value out of a guy with 7 high.
As advertised, Barry makes it 15,500.
Barry's doing a lot of the work for Vanessa. As she tries to figure out her next move, she'll realize the board is fairly dry, so a raise will look very strong. Even if Barry did have a strong hand, there's a chance he could fold to a raise.
Vanessa just calls.
She's probably going to let Barry try to fire at this again.
To the turn. Queen of spades. And Barry fires 30,000 again on a stone bluff.
This is a pretty aggressive bet by Barry. There's a really good chance Vanessa has some piece of this board, and he's trying to blow her off it. This bet is for almost half of Vanessa's remaining stack, so the correct move would be for her to move in. If Barry had a hand with equity, she would want to protect her hand.
I'm all in.
Vanessa's all in for over $37,000 more, and Barry can't call.
Barry, see ya.
And Greenstein folds.
Robin Hood, always trying to steal from the rich.
Meanwhile, Vanessa scoops over 160 grand without a showdown.
Nice hand.
Thank you, sir.
Bad timing for Barry, firing a few barrels directly into Vanessa's chip stack. Our 6th biggest hand stars the poker brat Phil Hellmuth and Italian loose cannon Massimiliano Martinez.
It was just the 6th hand of week 4, and both players were looking to make an early impression. Max felt right at home at this table with countryman Dario Manieri.
We gotta defend the Italy honor.
Yeah.
Best place to live in Italy is Rome.
Yeah.
Probably. Rome?
Yeah, we both from Rome.
When I was there, I went to the Roman, they had these Roman The steam rooms.
Oh, man, that's like such a layup. I can't even do it.
Max Martinez, the cannon with 10-9 suited. Raises to 1,300.
All right, loose cannon.
Ace-9 for Hellmuth. Calls.
This is one of the best thing we have. Did you like it?
Minieri calls 1,300 with pocket sixes. Elke out. Lock gone. Bill Perkins, 6-3 offsuit. Why not?
We'll be saying that a lot this week.
Italy was the first place I went where I bought pizza by the kilogram. They weighed it, and they said, oh, you have 180, whatever.
Flop 8-4-7, couple of diamonds. Perkins checks his gut shot.
That's a lock check. This is the Phil lock check. No, notice the
It's two-handed check.
Sometimes he likes this. I like the little.
Looks like everyone's learning to play chopsticks.
Martinez checking his up and down straight draw.
Hellmuth with nothing but ace high.
42.
Oh, Joe, he's got every backdoor draw imaginable.
That's true. He does have some backdoor draws.
Bets 4,200. Minieri quickly out.
Perkins still with a gut shot.
Businessman's done.
Max has 2 overs and he's open-ended, even though we know his 9's no good.
And Martinez makes the call.
Standard call.
Heads up to the turn. 10 of hearts. Max makes a pair. Phil is also up and down now.
Top pair for the loose cannon.
Martinez checks.
Phil's gearing up for a bet.
12,800.
You heard the man. 12,800 is the bet now.
It's over 3/4 of the pot.
I'll take this one now. You fold. I win.
I know.
He can probably understand complete sentences.
Well, this definitely isn't a fold.
A cannon showing some stones makes the call.
At this point, Phil should know he no longer has the best hand.
To the river, 7 of spades. Phil misses. Max's pair is still good.
Looks like he's thinking about betting it.
And he does. Fires 15,500.
This is a pretty small bet into this pot. It's sort of a blocker/merge. He's trying to bet a little less than what he thinks Phil would have bet. Problem with a blocker bet, though, is that it can sometimes look weak.
Raise it. 45,000.
Phil raises 45,000 more.
Please don't have forceful.
What you got?
Huh?
What you got?
To recap, Phil has nothing.
And over half his chips in this pot.
You got fourth?
I might have forceful. I might not.
Sick level.
Okay, call.
Wow.
Good call. You win.
That pot worth over 160,000 bucks.
Absolutely amazing call.
Hellmuth looks stunned. So loose cannon Max's impressive call nets him the biggest pot of his young poker career. Compliments of the poker brat. Still to come, Dario Minieri gets the attention of the businessman, Bill Perkins.
Race. Tell me what you have and look at my face.
Are you going to show your hand?
I can't answer this now.
And up next, seasoned rivals Daniel Negreanu and Randy Liu tangle in a monster.
6,000.
You knew I was calling, but you raised anyway.
8,000.
He doesn't believe me. I told you I have 3 threes and you just don't care.
Well, if I talk too much, I might let you know what I have.
All that and more when we come back.
For me personally, if I lose 25 to 50K, it hurts.
I think that where it starts to hurt for me personally is anything over 20,000. I'm probably starting to think about it.
I don't really have a pain threshold for a loss. I mean, I've won and lost over $1 million in a day.
My pain threshold is probably like 100,000. A big number for me to lose is anything over 200,000. It's not pleasant.
I'd say that now it's probably closer to 100,000, maybe like 80, 85.
At the end of the session, if I lost $100,000, I'd probably shaking my head and just kind of really thinking about what happened or why did I lose. I would try to imprint it in my head to not do it again.
It's part of doing business, you know? I don't sit down in a game if I don't feel comfortable losing everything I got in front of me.
Welcome back to the Best of the Big Game, Season 2's Biggest Pots, where we're counting down the 9 biggest pots pushed to one player.
I guess Randy needs to imprint Season 2 of the big game in his head, because as we look at this season's biggest losers, Lou makes the top 5 after booking a loss of over 100 grand in 2 appearances.
Joining Lou in the dark red this season were Eugene Kachalov, David Biffer-Pete, Phil Hellmuth, and the businessman Bill Perkins, who managed to dust off almost $300,000 in just one session. Our fifth biggest hand features loose cannon Courtney G, online phenom Randy Lou, and Kid Poker Daniel Negreanu.
Although it was just 26 hands into this table, Randy and Daniel have an extensive history of playing one another online. Soon over 165K would be in the middle of the table. Let the metagames and the leveling begin. Our loose cannon Courtney was first to act.
Looks down at couple of nines.
Obviously this is a raise.
I'll raise it.
Okay, I said we weren't going to clash, but I think we're going to clash because I got a good hand.
1600.
Courtney raises to 1600. Daniel will call with his sevens.
That raises a little big from Courtney.
Locke and Kenny both out. Pocket queens for Randy Lou.
Hello, ladies.
6,000.
3 bets. Randy Lou makes it 6,000, and Solomon's out of the way.
Well, Lou's put the squeeze on, probably to isolate the cannon. And even though we know she's behind, she's got the right implied odds to make this call.
She'll let it go.
I know you coming in. Hurry up.
You know it, right? So you raised anyway. What is that all about?
What's that?
You knew I was calling, but you raised anyway.
You're reading too much into it, man.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to level myself here. I just want to try to flop a set, hit a set, and get it in. Can we do that?
Yeah, yeah, paired in.
Well, if I'm trying to flop a set, what do you think I started with?
Daniel's made the call, heads up to the flop. Trey deuce jack.
Randy's got the lead.
8,000.
Lou bets 8,000.
Story checks out. Randy's been c-betting every flop. It's very likely for Daniel to think he has the best hand.
It's an interesting situation, okay? Because I have 3 threes right now. You don't believe that?
I don't know. I believe a lot of people. I believe a lot of people.
Okay. So the best way to play this against you, based on previous hands, is to call, raise river, I think. Okay? So that's plan A. I might change my mind, but plan A is call, ship river.
Daniel makes the call.
All right.
That's plan A. You like that? I'm just going to tell him, whatever.
I'm a little
right?
worried. I'm a little worried.
7 on the turn. Daniel has a set now.
It's such heart to tell your opponent what you're doing and doing it, you know?
What are you going to do now?
Let's see how much Randy fires into the abyss.
20,000.
Lou bets 20,000.
Lou's got Daniel's attention. Let's see if he sticks to his plan of call, ship.
He doesn't believe me. I seriously say I'm going to do that, and he doesn't care. Oh, gosh.
Everyone lies. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Word on the street.
So is plan A still the plan? I'd like to defer.
You gotta respect internet guys that chat during hands. That's a very rare thing, and to that, hats off. He's chatted in the middle. If somebody's dialoguing with him, he just opens the door and goes there.
Oh.
Even I don't do that. I try not to,
So it's
but
a
I do
mistake?
it.
Is that a mistake? Thanks for the...
I'm leveling myself too much. I call.
Daniel calls.
If I keep thinking, I'm going to screw up really bad.
This is awesome. Still sticking to the plan.
River, ace of clubs.
That ace may be a bit of an action killer, but it looks like Randy's loading up anyway.
Daniel intently watching Lou as he stacks chips. And it looks like it's going to be a really big bet.
Wow, I love this guy. He's sick.
I'm now worried that you just made 3 aces. How much does he have? How much did he bet?
Fired 47,800.
I told you I have 3 threes and you just don't care? Or you have that beat, right?
Well, if I talk too much, I might let you know what I have.
Bro, the thing is, when you talk, you might get the other result. You might get wins that you shouldn't have got, etc. You know?
That's true.
It's not all...
We all know Daniel's not folding this.
It really smells like aces. Pocket aces? Oh, it's a difference. I can't fold anyway.
Told you so.
And Daniel calls.
Queens.
Turn to set.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Nice hand.
Daniel's read wasn't far off. It wasn't overpair till the river.
So Daniel rakes that one in as everything goes according to plan. Well, sort of. Still to come, Bill Perkins and Phil Locke may be friends, but not when they're heads up in a 6-figure pot.
I bet the pot.
I think I got you beat. I think you...
He's going to fold. There's no way he's going to call half a stack.
All right, this is what it looks like when I go all in.
Plenty more to come when we return on the best of the big game.
Joya, thanks for coming on the big game. Nice
Come
to meet you.
commentatore fai veramente schifo, te lo dico, veramente proprio non ti si può ascoltare.
Joe, you're saying that you are an horrible commentator. I mean,
This is Luca Pagano. He's the color commentator in Italy. He was saying what? That is really an horrible commentator. I mean, you are so bad that you have no idea. That's what he's saying. Oh, no, I understood him. That's why I was smiling and nodding. I agree. Yeah, I am a horrible commentator. Thank you, Dario. Fantastic.
No problem.
Good luck today. Thanks, Luca.
Welcome back to the best of the big game with Joe Stapleton. I'm Scott Huff. Our fourth biggest pot involves Italian poker prodigy and commentator critic Dario Minieri, French StarCraft legend Elke Gros-Pellier, and self-proclaimed Supreme Donkey #1, Bill Perkins.
It was hand 98, and Elke was ahead 70K, while Perkins was stuck over 80 grand, and Dario just under 20. Action would begin on the
You
Italian.
don't understand what I'm saying. You don't
Well,
understand.
tell me. He's a great player, right, this guy?
You don't understand what I'm saying.
Minieri raises it up with ace-queen of hearts to 1100. Ace-king for Elke. Calls and lock folds an ace.
Just a call with ace-king.
It was great poker. I folded. He got me off a pair.
Perkins calls 1100 with the queen-8, of course. Martinez, 10-5 of clubs. Is he feeling it? Nope. Hellmuth folding.
Elke, the only one who's not dominated, headed to this flop.
Three-way action, 5 queen, jack, 2 clubs. Minieri and Perkins with top pair.
And Elke, the only one to not flop a pair. Minieri does have the best hand.
And bets it.
He's up like 100 again or something. the young Shalom monk.
It's awesome.
Elke calls 2100 with his gutter. Perkins quickly raises to 10K.
Perkins is trying to protect his hand, but it's hard to get someone to fold a better hand or even a worse one like a draw, since they're likely to have a lot of outs. It's going to be tough for Dario to fold top-top on such a draw-heavy board.
And Minieri does call. Elke lets it go.
Perkins has now bloated this pot with a marginal hand that has little chance of improving.
Turn. Tray of diamonds.
Dario's hand still best, but he was not the last aggressor.
Checks it. Perkins fires 15K.
All right, I'll ask you at home, is this a bluff or a value bet? I honestly don't know.
Race.
Dario thinks he knows.
56.1 more.
Minieri moves all in for 70,600.
Now this is a bet with purpose. Dario's hoping Bill will sometimes make a hero call with a worse hand, and sometimes he'll fold hands with equity against him. So now that 10K flop raise from Perkins may end up costing him 95K if he calls here and loses.
You must have me beat. Yeah, just go look at my pocket for a second. Just doesn't go on the table. Just see what I got left.
Even this man's lint is worth thousands.
Tell me what you have and look at my face.
I bet you don't.
Come on, I can't get an edge on that because I'm already made my bet. I did already my bet.
Ooh, this should be fun.
Are you going to show your hand?
I can't answer this now.
Amanda!
I can't answer this now.
Can she make you show your hand?
I don't want him to show his hand.
Oh, come on, guys. Amanda, you got that one right. That was a good answer, because the hand's not really over.
Just for agony's sake, I think your hand's worth $56,000. I want to see your hand.
He calls.
Ace queen.
You got it.
What do you have?
Queen 8.
How many times you want to run?
3.
Okay.
So they'll see 3 river cards with the winner each time getting a third of the pot.
Perkins has Dario covered, but he's in really bad shape. He's looking for an 8.
River number 1, 5.
5.
Okay.
Chop it up.
Dario wins.
1 for Dario.
Nice try with the whole chop it up thing.
River number 2, tray of spades. So Dario locks up almost 112,000 so far.
Come on.
Oh, good talking, Dario.
One shot for an 8. For my friend, 1 time for Texas, an 8 for Texas.
This game's sick.
Texas, he's
River number 3 goes to Dario.
Take it.
Ship full cargo to the Italian. So Bill Perkins donates over 80K to Dario and has to reach into his pocket for some more ammo. Our third biggest hand went down between loose cannon and retired police officer Ken Rankowski, Argentinian tournament specialist Nacho Barbero, and 2005 World Series of Poker main event champion Joe Hashem.
Ken had played pretty tight and was down 15K to start the hand, while Nacho and Joe were both in the black. Action began on Tony G.
Looks down at 10-4. Lets it go.
Over and out.
Nacho, ace-5.
If you raise, we get it in on the flop.
This would be a little loose from the hijack.
Raises to 1300. Action on the 2005 world champ, Joe Hashem, pocket 7s.
Joe could put in a raise here, but most players just call with 2 7s, and Joe could be a little concerned that Nacho's not just hijacking off over there.
Hashem makes the call. Couple of jacks for the cannon.
Now Ken's gonna want to raise here to make sure he's not taking a flop 6 ways.
Well, Tony G's out Joe, so it's really only 5 ways. But I see your point.
Do you?
Those look like raising chips.
Raise 42.
Re-raises to 4,200.
Let's see who wins Daniel's inner battle. Will it be suited connectors and a 3-bet multi-way pot, or I'm out of position?
And not crazy about folding to begin with. Makes the call.
Story checks out.
Tilly with queen tray, and she'll have to ditch that, and does. Back on Nacho.
When the cannon's in the pot, the pros tend to play pretty loose. Pretty loose.
Barbero makes the call.
Hashem's getting like the dumbest odds ever. If you factor in implied odds, he's calling. Aussies move at their own pace, though. Oi!
And Joe calls.
Okay, we all wasted time. We did our little, every one of us, we did the, we know we're calling.
Yeah. Whenever you call, everybody knew it was.
We all know we're calling. It's just a little, we're trying to be like Jennifer Tilly there a little bit. Actors.
Oh, yeah.
4-way action. Jack tray quads for the cannon.
Time to get back into deep cover.
Check.
Daniel checks. Nacho passes.
Joe might think he has the best hand,
but checks.
This board's fairly dry, so it's totally cool to let someone catch up a bit.
And Ken will check to the turn.
I like it.
4 of hearts. Daniel checks. Nacho checks.
Still not too scary a board for Joe's hand, and Ken gave up the lead.
12,000.
Joe bets 12K.
Anything Ken does here other than fold will look strong, so I think his best shot at looking weak is to just call.
That's what you did last time.
When?
12,000.
Last night, Hashem bet 12-5 on the river against the loose cannon. Ken made the call with queens, and Joe showed him 2 pair to take it.
It was 12,500 last time.
Talking when you have a big hand, that's classic loose cannon.
Ken calls. Daniel's done with it.
Nacho's got a gut shot draw and not much else. He's getting a terrible price to draw to it, especially considering he could be and is drawing dead.
And mucks.
This isn't a super cooler, so I'm not really sure how much value Ken will be able to get out of Joe.
River, deuce of spades.
Nacho would have made his gut shot. Don't tilt yet, Nacho. Joe was the last aggressor. We'll have to see if Ken's call on the turn slows him down at all. And look at that, Ken's praying Joe fires off some money.
I'm all in.
He's all in.
Call.
4 jacks, I guess.
4 jacks.
Ken shows the quads.
Wow.
Whoops.
I guess.
Wow.
The cannon doubles up.
Nice hand.
If I see the river, wow.
I'm gonna let you do that. I'll probably just make a mess.
67.6.
Nice hand, kid.
So Cannon Ken Rankowski gets maximum value after flopping quads in our 3rd biggest pot of the season. Don't go anywhere. The top 2 biggest pots in big game history are on the way.
And I've crossed over the even watermark so many times that it's almost like I feel like a boat just in a bay, just trying to just stabilize. And I'm not going out to sea. I'm not going into drinking the tavern. I'm just in the bay, you know. That's what it feels like.
I'm not exactly sure what Phil Locke's talking about, but whatever it is, certainly working for him on the big game this season as he led all players in overall profit, taking home over $264,000 in 3 appearances.
Prahlad Friedman and Elke Gros-Pellier also had solid outings this season, and 2 of our loose cannons, Max Martinez and Gonzo Cannon, were among the top earners.
Our 2nd biggest Season 2 pot features 2 of those guys, Phil Locke and Elke Gros-Pellier, along with the businessman, Bill Perkins, in a pot worth over $250,000.
It was hand 122 of week 4. Elke had a $67K profit, while Phil and Bill were both stuck large to start this hand. Locke over $64,000 and Perkins twice that. The entire table was looking for good spots to gamble as the session wound down.
Action begins on Dario Minieri.
Yeah, I'm ready to gamble with you.
Folds the 9 deuce.
You know that.
I'm ready to gamble when you're doing dead.
Elke raises the 1300 with King 10. Locke calls quickly with Ace 8.
I bet the pot.
Perkins pots it.
How much?
64.
To 6,400 with the 8-6.
Time is running out, so it looks like we're in for some big pots.
Martinez and Helmuth fold. And Elke folds.
Can't flip a set with that hand.
Sosik.
Locke makes the call.
We know Locke has Perkins dominated. He knows Perkins could be doing this with any two cards.
Queen 3-8, two clubs, Locke and Perkins both with middle pair, but Phil with a stranglehold now with the nut flush draw. Bets 10K.
What an insanely good flop for Phil.
Perkins calls.
Phil's donk bet to induce action. Perkins snap calls with middle pair, no kicker. Seems pretty proud of himself.
Turn. 8 of diamonds, both players with trips.
Oh boy, both these guys have monster hands and monster stacks. Things are about to get real in here.
Locke bets 25,000.
Someone get Bill Perkins a blanket because this is a cold deck.
I raise.
He's gonna raise it. There's the 25.
How much will Bill Perkins fire into the abyss?
Raises to 80,000.
Now 140,000 in this pot. Phil Locke with a bit of a knit roll or Hollywooding, but he's never folding.
I think I got you beat. I think you, unless you have like ace-8 of clubs or some sick demon hand.
Well, he's clearly not knit rolling, Joe. I think he's just relishing the moment.
I just... Boys and girls at home, if I'm wrong and you're starting to try and like play good poker, and you think this is the night to let's follow Phil. He always gets unstuck. Maybe this is the time to watch a different program.
Should I give him the penny?
This is dirty.
That penny is cursed. I'm gonna make my own decision.
It's cursed. He's gonna fold. There's no way he's gonna call half his stack.
Well, you're right, Bill. He's not calling.
All right, this is what it looks like when I go all in. I'm all in.
Locke's all in.
I call.
Perkins calls.
Good move.
Evil. It was evil. I'm sorry. You're my friend, so you can take it. You want to run it twice?
Twice.
Hey, how about 3 times in the first and last count? The middle doesn't count.
Go. Next.
So they're going to run it 3 times.
Over 330K in the middle.
3 times, first and last.
Second river will not count.
I'm going. He got me. Cost me money and got me.
Perkins needs a 6 for the win. A queen or a tray will chop it.
But it's a 5.
First one's mine. The second one doesn't count, but we need to see what it is anyways. This is me. The 6 comes now. I am super shallow.
So this river will not count.
A 6 would be pretty sick.
Nope. Deuce of diamonds, and that doesn't spoil any of Perkins' outs.
That one didn't count. Here's the last one that counts. No 6. Don't punish me for this funny business that I did.
You should get punished for all that drama.
You should get punished for all that drama.
Will he get punished? No. 10 of spades, and Phil Locke is going to drag a $335,000 pot.
Good, I'm out.
All right, buddy.
You got
that was sick.
Good drama. Good drama.
Sick.
All right, guys.
Sick.
That enormous pot turned Locke's week around, putting him ahead over 100K and sent the businessman packing. Stick around. The big game's biggest pot of all time is coming up next. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the best of the big game. It's time to reveal Season 2's biggest pot, which was also the largest pot the big game has ever seen. Our headliners are rapping poker pro Prahlad Friedman and the unpredictable Vanessa Selbst.
There were only about 20 hands left in week 3. Both players were up big, just under 70K for Vanessa and 80K for Prahlad. They've been clashing throughout the week, with Prahlad hitting trips on the river to beat Vanessa on the very last hand.
And the action will start on Vanessa Selbst.
Had a good hand.
Jack 7 of diamonds.
Vanessa may be steaming a bit after that last hand. Looks like she's getting right back on the horse.
Raises to 1,300 as Fondiari quickly out. Spirit rockets for Prahlad Friedman.
By the way, when I start calling Prahlad parlay in front of you guys, it's because I've been doing it for 5 years. He parlayed $50 into 50,000 one weekend.
And then that 50,000 is now what?
I don't know, 40 million or something.
7.2 million or something?
But I was like,
what's it like to have 7.2 million?
I would not know.
Gotta be more than 7.2.
Right, it's more than 7.2.
Prahlad's very likely to be adding to that 7.2 now. Vanessa's starting to look a little defiant.
4-bet to 13,200 with the jack high.
So typically a Vanessa Selbst 4-bet is going to start to get some credibility, which means if Prahlad thinks she's got some kind of hand, he'll easily put in a 5th bet.
It is 5 bets to 35,000.
30? 35.
All right, well, this looks like a pretty easy fold for Vanessa.
But she hasn't dumped her cards yet. Joe, what in the world could she be thinking about here?
Well, she might be a little steamy from that last hand still, and is probably leveling herself with thoughts that Prahlad is just messing with her.
Now it looks like she wants to see how many chips Prahlad has left.
She should be folding any second now.
Pot.
She puts in 6 bets with Jack high.
Oh boy.
106.2.
$106,200 is now the bet.
This is an absolute punt. Let's count the hang time.
All right, I'm all in.
Pralada's all in.
It is a mistake. I call.
Vanessa calls.
I can't.
Aces for
No,
Pralada.
no.
He's got aces.
Yeah, I know.
I'll bet she's
How
got
many do you want to
aces.
run it?
He has aces.
It's like 100%.
Of course. She has ace, king, or kings.
Nope, I have nothing. Twice?
Whatever you want.
Let's do 3 times.
Sure.
Nice.
She has live cards.
Oh boy.
How much do you have?
He's got you covered, I think.
60, 170.
So they're going to run it 3 times.
Almost spoke to win. Couldn't do it.
I think I speak for Vanessa when I say, even worse, some of Vanessa's outs have been folded, so she's a bigger dog than she thinks.
First of 3 runs coming up. Winner will get a third of the pot. King 4-5.
That's not good.
She'll need runner.
6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds.
Don't waste it.
6 of diamonds would that be the best card?
6 of diamonds would give her straight and flush draws.
God.
To the turn. 9 of hearts.
All right. Put a deuce of clubs. Oh, ace of clubs is good.
I think Prahlad knows the time for speeches is over.
River 10 of hearts, and Pralada has locked up a third of the pot worth over 113K.
I'm such a. Why do I do this to myself? Every time. Not every time. I usually don't do this to myself anymore. What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing. I'm just, you know.
Pretty sure he was laughing.
Here comes the second of 3 runs. 8 king 5 2 diamonds flush draw for Vanessa.
It's already a diamond over there.
There it is. That's the spirit. Show the other diamonds.
Yeah, 6 of diamonds would definitely be more useful here than it was in the last one.
Vanessa only needs 1 more diamond.
Turn 5 of hearts.
Wow, Prahlad is strong. How did he dodge it there?
Missing the flush draw would be devastating. She's not likely to flop this good again.
To the river. No diamond, 3 of clubs.
What a brick.
Brick ball.
Super brick.
Bricktastic.
So Pralada's 2/3 of the way to scooping the biggest pot ever won on the big game.
What an absolute gift from Vanessa.
No jacks and 7s.
Run number 3. 4 6 king, 3 more bricks. This is getting hard to watch.
Not even a sweat.
Vanessa's dead to 2 pair trips or a straight, all of them runner, or else Prahlad's gonna need a wheelbarrow to bring all his money home.
To the turn. Deuce of spades.
Nice hand.
And Prahlad's gonna win a pot worth over $340,000.
Wow, Prahlad did it. That's sick.
All right, I'm out of here.
Nice playing with you, Vanessa.
Nice playing with you.
Good playing with you, Vanessa.
Why not win one of them?
Vanessa's gonna hit the rail, and with that, Prahlad Freeman has the biggest scoop in the history of the big game.
Enjoy.
Well, those were the biggest pots played in Season 2. Joe, what's the biggest pot you've ever played? 40 or 50. 1,000? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
American money?
No.
That's it for tonight's edition of The Big Game. For Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Huff. Good night, everybody.
Boys and girls at home, if I'm wrong and you're starting to try and you're like play good poker and you think this is the night to like, you know, let's follow Phil. You always get unstuck. Maybe this is the time to watch a different program.
What a brick.
Brick ball.
Super brick.
Thank you.
The preceding program was sponsored by PokerStars.net.